folks, gentlemen, ladies, Sandamtod here in the bedroom, in the old boudoir. Oh, I'm making myself laugh. How funny. Anyway, here we are to do a video. I really don't got a lot of, but I've got a lot on my mind, I guess, but not a lot of hiccups or anything. I've got something here, a package 15 months in the making, and it's not as impressive as it sounds, and it's not video game related either. Either? I don't know. I say either, but a lot of people say either. I don't know. Either or. Anyway, I picked up two games and then this package, and then I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Pop culture-y things, nothing too serious. We don't get too serious here. So anyway, I watched the super duper cut of Deadpool. That's pretty damn awesome. If you haven't seen Deadpool 2, you need to. I'm not going to get into it a lot here. I'd say see it. I'm not one of those people that I'm like, oh yeah, it was fucking better than the first one. I don't like it when people overhype things to me, when they say, oh, it was the best thing I've ever seen, or it was, so much better. I always say, did you like the first one? Yeah, well, it's as good as the first one, so go check it out. And make up your own mind, It's just something. I hate it, and it happens, and there's nothing you can do about it. And I don't get pissed at people when it happens, but when people overhype shit to me, like, oh, this game or this movie is fucking awesome, and, then I see it, and I'm like, yeah, it was alright, but it wasn't what you were acting like it was, at least not to me. So, a lot of times when I try to turn other people on to stuff too, or stuff that I like, I'm just like, well, I dig it. If you don't dig it, that's cool, check it out. A lot of times I'll throw things at my cousin, like, hey, check this out, or whatever, and, a lot of times he has the same sensibilities I do, so he usually digs the type of stuff that I do, but, each to their own, So, the Deadpool 2, awesome, the super duper cut. There are a couple jokes. I kind of would like a mishmash of the two. There were a couple of things that they switched out for alternate lines, and I actually like the line, like in the theatrical, cut better. But like I said, I'm not going to get into things here at the moment. But there were a couple of lines I was like, I like that other line in the regular cut better. But for the most part, it was a definite upgrade. I thought it kind of improved some story points with a couple of characters that made you kind of, either care more or whatever for them than maybe you would have just seeing the regular version, in my opinion. I'd say see both of them. I have seen it. I went and saw it at the theater, and then, saw the super duper cut. So, anywho, it's not even out on DVD yet. You gotta, like, stream it and shit. But it's coming out on DVD, I think, like, next week. I think Infinity War came out this week in America, anyway. I haven't ran out to get Infinity War, and I actually do want to reference Infinity War here in a minute when I actually talk about what I want to talk about. So anyway, the two games I bought actually on two separate weekends, and one of them's a PS4 game and one of them's a PS3, and I'm not even playing either. It looks like I'm flip-flopping back and forth between them now. Either one at the moment. I think it's when I think about saying the word, like I'm thinking about it, I choose to make, maybe I'm trying to put on airs and make myself sound like more, I don't like it either, maybe when it's one of those deals. But when I don't think about it and I just say it, it's like, either way, I don't give a damn what you think you're entitled to. That's A Few Good Men, and yeah, that's Jack Nicholson's line at the end of the movie, toward the end of the movie, when Tom Cruise is, I want the truth! You can't handle the truth! It's in that part somewhere. Trust me. That's a good movie too, actually. A Few Good Men. So I had I don't know, I had some games bookmarked on eBay for a while, and like I said, I bought Folklore recently, and I didn't notice when I bought it, but after I did that video, I was kind of looking at it closer, and I opened the case, and boy, whoever owned it before me was a smoker, because the thing reeked of smoke. I guess I just didn't notice it at the time, and sometimes I told you I'm like mine congested and shit, so maybe I just didn't smell it. But and then when I actually kind of looked at the case had almost yellowed, you know. I ended up putting in swapping out the case for a different case I had, and I've got the damn, I don't know what I can really do. This is my own trial and error, but I don't really know what you can do about getting that smell out of the instruction book. Right now, I went and bought a brand new box of dryer sheets, the Fresh Clean scent, or yeah, I think that's what it is. They had odor neutralizer, but I didn't think those would actually, you know, neutralize the odor per se. But what I did is I put one in between every single goddamn page and on either side of it and folded it shut. And I got it sandwiched between two books. And I've got weight on top of that to keep it all flat. And I've let it sit for like 10 days already. And I'm going to leave it for like weeks and see if that can help it. Because it reeked. And, you know, I mean, I guess I just didn't smell it. I mean, the disc plays fine. The disc didn't look discolored, and I even kind of sniffed the disc, to be honest. I didn't really smell it on there. But yeah, the instruction and the little insert thing that was in there, I took that out of there and just and I kept it, but I didn't keep it in there because it's also reeked. So smokers, know what you're doing to your games if you're smoking around them. It makes your whole collection just reek. It's really bad for this other medium that I was going to show a little bit of here too, comic books. But anyway, I had written some stuff down. Folklore was on there. I deleted it off my save searches, but I wrote the rest of the games down on a little piece of paper to keep in my wallet, so when I went to resell or wherever, I could look for those specific games. And in the interim, I beat that Fuse game that I showed in maybe last video or 2 videos ago. It was very long. It was maybe about 10 hours. I liked it. You could switch back and forth between the different people and level them up as you went. And it wasn't super hard, and it was kind of fun for me just to run and gun. And basically, you know, if you go down, they heal you. Every once in a while, you have to heal them because maybe one of the other guys can't get to them in time. But you don't even have to really heal anybody. You just go balls to the wall with the gun and you just go crazy. So I enjoyed it. I actually talked my cousin into picking it up, and this past weekend on Sunday we went over there, and they had a copy for $3, so he picked it up. So I'm hoping he digs it, and I didn't overhype it. So anyway, 2 weekends ago, after I went and I had written that stuff down, I decided I was going to go over to Resell. That's my new go-to, and look around and see if they had some. But I had written down a few games that said that they played kind of like Fuse, that style. One of them is this game called Jericho, which is like a Clive Barker thing, I guess. And that looked interesting, but I didn't find it yet out and about. I did bookmark it online. Yeah, I kept them all bookmarked as well, even though I wrote them down. And I went into Resell and was looking around. And they had one of them, and I had about 7 written on there, but I figured they were a little more rare, so I didn't know that they'd just be copies floating around. But this one I was pretty sure I'd be able to find it fairly easily and not for very much. And I did. And while I was there, I was looking for a couple different titles for this same, not genre, but character. And turned out, I'll explain here in a second, but the game I ended up picking up for the PS4 was Batman Arkham Knight. And this is one of your, I don't know if it's a continuation of the story or not, because Arkham City kind of ended with kind of a definitive kind of stopping point type of ending. Origins was almost like a flashback to before, I think. I don't know, because this is the deal. When I got home, I realized I had beaten Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, but I had never played Arkham Origins, which I had already. So I decided to shelve Arkham Knight until I play through Arkham Origins, which I did start. The disc is not in here because it's in the PS4 at the moment, but it had the directions, and I don't know why they gave me the old CD thing, but it's in here. Well, they don't even put theirs in CD. I don't know why that CD sleeve's in here, actually, to be honest, because they don't even do that. I mean, Vintage Stock does. They'll put their games like in a catalog type thing, or GameStop, but this, I didn't get this at GameStop. But anyway, I shelved it, but one of the games I had on my list for Batman was the Batman Telltale game, because I'd recently been playing Wolf Among Us, which I'm 3 episodes in. I'm in the middle of the 3rd episode right now, and I'm really digging it. I decided I wanted to get that Batman one. Well, guess what? I had already decided that a long time ago, because I already owned it. It was over there with my PS3 games, and I was like, this is a freaking problem. If I don't remember what I already have, and I've got it written down to buy another copy. So I checked and made sure the ones I had on my list were not something I have. And anyway, so I have the Batman Telltale game to play at some point when I do finally get around to it. I don't know how much time I have left. The cat's tearing ass around, so it's making me wonder what in the hell's going on. And then this weekend, like I said, on Sunday, I went over there, and they were having like a buy 3 and get the 4th free or something on anything kind of that generation and back, you know, the PS3, 360 and back. And my cuz picked up Fuse, like I said, and he picked up 2 other games. I didn't see exactly what he grabbed. And I found one more of one of the ones that I had written on the list. Now, I didn't write a specific one. I just wrote, you know, a generic blah-de-blah. And then this is the one I found. I think it was $4. It might have been, no, it was $5. Because what happened was my cousin couldn't find a 4th game, and I go, I can only find one that I need or want. So I'll just throw mine in with yours, and I gave him a $5 bill and was like, that, you know, then you get one free, one of yours free, the 3 that you have, you know. So anyway, blah-de-blah, this is what I picked up. Army of Two, The Devil's Cartel. I've never played Army of Two, and I think my cousin said there were at least 2 different ones. Maybe more, but I know there's 2 anyway. And this one I picked up. The only reason why is because, like it said, it kind of said Fuse said games like Fuse. This one was mentioned, and I think as much as you can maybe switch back and forth between the people while you're playing or something. I don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna restart the camera before I get going because I got the package to show, and I was gonna talk about something. It sounds ominous, doesn't it? Hold on. Alright, so anyway, I don't know where I should go. Let's go with the package. Screw it. This package, I have not seen this yet. I've not opened it, and I'm kind of like anxious because this is a NECA figure. It's for an anniversary set for one of my favorite things, and it had been pictures of it and stuff had been posted back in 2016, I think, and I think March-ish of last year it went up for pre-order. And most of the time when you pre-order something, it's like, 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks out, and then it's going to come in stock. You're not waiting some ungodly amount of time. And I don't know what the fuck was going on with NECA, but this thing just kept getting pushed back and back and back and back. And literally, my debit credit card expired, and I had to get a new card. I had to cancel the pre-order and then re-pre-order it with my new card number. So it had gone like 4 months, like from March to June or July, and then I re-upped it, and it had been on pre-order since last, I think, June, and it finally shipped this week. And so I'm anxious. I'm hoping that it's in good shape. The price is reasonable. It's $49.99. It's a 2-figure set. I'm hoping that it kicks ass because I don't know. There were a couple times I almost gave up on it because I watched Ash vs. Evil Dead, and there was this puppet in the second season that debuted in the second season, and they put this puppet up at the same time for pre-order, and they both kept getting pushed back, and I finally gave up on the fucking puppet. I was like, you know what, screw this. I don't really care about the puppet that much anyway. I was just like, and it got pushed back like 8 or 10 months, and then finally, around Christmas time of this last year, that thing finally came in stock and got shipped. Here we are, folks, a box full of, stuff. I happen to have an actual knife ready tonight. Actually, it says it was $44.99. All I know is I paid like $55. So, if they spend $11, $12 shipping it, or that's what they charge for the shipping, then that's what it is. And this is Entertainment Earth. I like Entertainment Earth. Sometimes they have exclusive figures and pops and stuff. They have stuff that runs the gambit from like Dorbs and little cheap things up to expensive like statuettes and shit that can cost you a few $100s. And I don't ever buy shit like that, but they've got like a lot of cool stuff. And because I've ordered from them a couple times, I ordered Rock Candy Elvira and the Jessica Rabbit one from them. I pre-ordered them, and when they came in, they shipped them. And I get a little catalog in the mail, and I like looking through it. This isn't a plug for them. I'm just saying they've always shipped. As soon as the stuff comes in stock, they ship it, and I've never had any problems with them. And I like the type of stuff they have there. It's all deep, comic book type, sci-fi, shit. So, or horror, stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna pull this packing out of here. They did use quite a bit of packing, which I'm glad. It looks like it didn't shift around in here too much. And since I already mentioned Ash vs. Evil Dead, I might have gave away that this is an Evil Dead thing. Now, it's not Ash vs. Evil Dead. This is actually for Evil Dead 2. And it's a 30th anniversary 2-figure set, and it does look sweet. I'm actually kind of happy to finally be holding it. I mean, it's kind of crazy to actually and checking it out. Oh my God, that is awesome. Cool. I know the suspense is killing you, right? I was kind of playing it up a little bit, but anyway, I bought the Evil Dead 2 30th anniversary 2-figure set. And it has Ash, and it has Evil Ed in it. And if you've seen Evil Dead 2, you know who those people are. This is the cover, some of the cover art from one of the DVDs I have. I have like 3 or 4 different versions of it. I think I have 2 or 3 DVDs. But then this is the actual figures. I don't know. I hope I'm getting some decent looking shots of it. It's got the deer, the mounted deer head, and it has different, I think both of them had different heads. I don't remember at this point because I just kind of glanced at it. And then it's got artwork on the inner side of this. I hope there wasn't a big glare on that or anything. I can't be sure. Yeah, there's 2 other Ash heads, and 1 other Evil Ed head, and the Kandarian dagger. Awesome. This just made my night. I mean, I've been waiting for it for so long. I don't know. Finally, I can post on the Bruce Campbell fanbook Facebook page. I got my fucking figure finally. So, hold on. I'm going to turn around and get... You want to get your money's worth out of this video, don't you? I had gotten this one a while back, but this is also a NECA one. I didn't have problems getting this one, but it wasn't delayed over and over and over and over. But this was the Evil Dead 2 solo Ash figure they released before they released this. And this was called, I think at the time it was called the Ultimate Ash figure. But there was something missing, and I don't remember what it was. Oh, he didn't have a chainsaw in here. That was what he was missing. There's no chainsaw in this figure, with this figure, that goes on his hand. But it's pretty sweet. I think this one was like around 28 or 30, and then this was, I guess, 45. I would assume these aren't going to stay in stock very long, and who knows if they'll make up any more, you know. I mean, it's just, that's why I didn't want to give up the pre-order, because I was afraid that if I gave it up, I wouldn't end up getting one, and then it would be out of stock, and then, you know, I'd be SOL. So glad I didn't. It looks fucking awesome, and actually they did package it really well. I've never had a problem with Entertainment Earth, like I said. I mean, their stuff's always been packaged really nice, and you know, like I said, it was not their fault that NECA kept pushing back the release date for 15 months. And I did cancel with them on the puppet thing, and you know, they were real apologetic. They're like, well, we're sorry that NECA didn't deliver or, you know, meet your expectations or whatever. You know, we do have a lot of other, you know, different, you know, I forget what they said, people that, you know, who they do sell, you know, and to take a look at their other, you know, stuff and their selection, and hope that I would use them again. And, you know, I was like, yeah, I mean, it's not your all's fault. So anyway, that was my big thing that I really wanted to do this video about. And then for some reason, I got off on a tangent about comics, because I'd watched the Deadpool, and I decided, I hadn't ever watched it. I decided to watch Justice League. And it was not good. I mean, it was really disappointing to me, and I just I hate to say that. I mean, I love DC characters. I love the DC universe. They just, I don't know what it is. They just can't figure it out. I don't know if it's the directors or the writers. I don't feel it's the actors. I feel the actors are good. For the most part, I mean, it's really hard for a Jared Leto to take over the Joker. You know, it's hard for anybody to take it over. From the performance that Heath Ledger gave, and I mean, it's just a big character. It's hard for anybody to take on that role. And you know, but I mean, I think Ben Affleck is fine as Bruce Wayne. I don't really care for that, whatever that voice synthesizer thing they use when he's talking that makes his voice sound all, you know, but that's just me. But I understand why he might want to disguise what his voice sounds like, so, you know, c'est la vie. I didn't really have a problem with the characters themselves. I mean, the actors in the roles, I thought they did a good job in the roles, but I don't know. It just didn't feel serious. I mean, maybe that's it. It just felt jokey. I mean, it felt like I hate to. Yeah, you got to though. I was gonna say I hate to compare it to Marvel, but a movie like Infinity War has been building for years. They've built this gravity up of the situation throughout many different stories, and it gives it a weight and a gravity that this DC thing just feels like they're just want you to accept that it's monumental, and it wasn't. You know, I mean, the main bad guy, and I'm not saying, because I don't know all these enemies and shit. All I know is I've always loved Superman, and I'll show you here in a second. But that reminds me, I got another piece of Superman thing. I might stop this. I was going to show you all the Superman shit that I own or that I could find, but I just remembered one more thing, and I'm probably stop the camera to go get it here in a second. But I like the Henry guy, Cavelli, or whatever his name, Cavell. I don't remember what his name is. It's Henry something, isn't it? Anyway, I like him as Superman. I think he's really good at it in that role. I have no problem. I have no problem with any of the cast. I did have a little bit of a problem with the kid playing the Flash, because I really like the TV show, and when I'm watching that scene, all I can see is the dad and Barry from the show doing the same scene. You know, I mean, not that they did the same scene, but I see them in there. I'm like, I see like a mental movie of them running it, you know, not these two guys. I'm like, this Barry, I just don't, you know, it was like, whatever, you know, I just didn't, I don't know. So, anyway, each of the characters kind of paralleled, and this is the deal, it felt like they lifted a bunch of shit from Marvel. It's like, and maybe directly from Avengers fucking shit. I mean, it felt like Batman was the Iron Man of the group. He's the loudmouth billionaire guy who's got a lot of tech and thinks he knows what's right. And then I put Wonder Woman as the Thor character. She's like a god. She's above all this petty shit for the most part, but she's trying to protect the world, you know. And Aquaman, I like his character. I think he'd be badass to hang out with, but he's Hulk. I mean, all he does is jump around and smash shit. I mean, that's all he really does. And it's like Flash, he felt low rung, you know? And so did Cyborg. I mean, Cyborg's got, you know, he's got the sensibility of a Captain America, but he's got the cybernetic, you know, machine shit of Iron Man. He's like a mix, you know? I mean, but, and that's just the character. I mean, that was no big deal to me. The bad guy, I didn't understand where these three, I mean, I'm spoiling the shit out of this, so you're going to have to excuse it. If you don't want to see Justice League, or if you want to see it without me spoiling it, I mean, like plot points, because I'm getting ready to, you know, go ahead. I didn't understand, 3, 2, 1. I didn't understand where these three fucking mother box cube things even came from. Were they always on Earth? I didn't really understand that. This Steppenwolf guy was supposed to be the ultimate badass, and his name's fucking Steppenwolf, and I don't know if there's a character in the comics named Steppenwolf. I don't know if he's supposed to be some kind of Thanos badass type of guy in the DC universe, but every time I heard them say Steppenwolf, I'm thinking of that fucking Born to Be Wild song, you know, and I keep expecting it to come on. I'm like, Born to Be Wild. I would at least dug that if fucking Steppenwolf would have shown up listening to Born to Be Wild, man. But no. And, you know, I mean, it's like one of those deals where it felt like, I don't know. So they're protecting these three mother boxes, and the Atlanteans have one, and the Amazons have one, and the humans have one. Well, the humans can't fucking be trusted for shit. They're you know, they can't be trusted to just all band together and guard the motherfucker. So somebody in the dead of night buries the motherfucker somewhere that nobody knows where it is. And then the Amazons and the Atlanteans both set up a special room in their kingdoms and put the damn cube thing on a pedestal and basically stand there and stare at it all day. And that's about it. And then I don't know. For some reason, one of the mother box things came to life. I don't know if it happened during Batman vs. Superman when the Zod, you know, when Luthor made that creature out of Zod. I don't know if that was supposed to be that one dude from the comics or not. I can't remember his name offhand. I was never a huge fan of the comics. I was a huge fan of Superman. Let's get that straight, because I don't really know a lot of comic book shit as far as the DC universe goes. I know more Marvel stuff in the comic book world. But, so anyway, I think they fight this dude, and like the Amazons end up fighting this guy kind of without the help of anybody else. Then the Atlanteans end up fighting. He goes and gets one of the cubes, and so he's like Thanos on his Infinity Gauntlet fucking quest, you know. He goes and gets one of the mother box things, and then he goes and he gets another one. So he's looking for the last one, the human one that's buried that nobody knows where it is. And it's just like, I think that at this point, you know, Batman and has found the Flash and talked to the Aquaman guy about coming and being on the team, and he's like, no thank you, daddy, you know, da-de-da. And the Cyborg guy also, he's, you know, I think he's trying to help him, but at the same time he's like, he's not really, you know, wanting to. But you basically, Wonder Woman's trying to talk him into it. You are a hero, you know, kind of thing. And it's like, so they all come together at some point, after they fight him the second time, or after the second cube, Cyborg knows where the third mother box is. Well, evidently it had been discovered by some humans, and they've been testing on it, and that's kind of what sparked all of his cybernetics to start going crazy, and like I don't know, reproducing or recreating themselves or whatever the fuck. They don't really explain a lot with with his character, and it's like, so they had the mother box. So evidently it's supposed to be like unbridled power. You know, that's what these things they are power. They don't contain power, you know, whatever. So anyway, somehow Batman comes to the brilliant idea that he can bring Superman back to life if he puts him in the same chamber that Zod's body was put in, and then they put this cube down in there with him and hit it with some kind of power source, which I don't know why, if it is power, why it needs to get jump started. I don't really understand that either. But for some reason, they dig up Superman's body. He doesn't decay because of the atmosphere or whatever, so he's still pristine. They put him in the pool. They put the cube down in there, and then they realize the thing's gotta, like, I don't know, needs a jump start. And so they, the Flash says he can create lightning or something and spark it. And they're like, well, you have to hit it right when it hits the water. You have to touch it at that exact second. You know, and it's like, oh, is he going to do it? Well, of course he's going to fucking do it. But the whole thing, and here's my whole point with this whole fucking build-up here is Age of Ultron. The whole thing is when they made Vision. And it's like, Vision was in that the thing, and they were going to upload the consciousness, and then they only had a set amount of time, and it had to be done at a certain time, and then Quicksilver shows up with some Captain America and yanks the fucking wires out of the machine. If you haven't seen Age of Ultron, I'm spoiling it too, evidently. And then, so you think that the thing's going to fry out, and then Thor shows up, zaps the motherfucker with lightning, and what happens? You know, Vision shoots up out of the coffin and flies toward Thor. Thor flings him across the room, and then he kind of shakes it off, and he's like, whoa, that was weird, you know. That's what happens in the Marvel movie. In the DC version of Age of Ultron, Flash goes back a distance into the ship, far enough that when he hits a thing, he'll be able to touch it and zap it with the lightning, and it'll cause the cube to light up and spark this amniotic, whatever this fluid shit is that Clark's floating in, and it'll bring him back to life. And he steps back and he does it. The cube's got to be dropped, and then they're doing a countdown, so he hits it at the exact second. Now, I don't know how they're counting down at regular speed, I think, but he's running super fast, so I don't know how he's hearing the countdown. But nonetheless, he touches it at just the right time. Electricity, you know, just like when Thor hits the thing with lightning, the thing touches the water. What happens? Clark, aka Superman, shoots up out of the tank through the top of the spaceship. They all go either flinged outside or run outside. I don't remember which one. And he's hovering over the ship there, and he doesn't really know what in the fuck's going on, because it's like he's being born again or something. So his senses are all fucked up and going weird, and he's like seeing X-ray through people and all sorts of shit. And of course, a mistake is made, and suddenly Superman's fisticuffing with them, even though they're trying to, you know, get him to realize who they are so he can help them. And then this goes on for a while, and then Lois Lane shows up with Alfred, and Clark, of course, recognizes her, which is fine. I'm not faulting that logic. I mean, that makes sense. But they take off, And, basically just leave them there. And they're like, oh, well, they're just like, oh, well, we're fucked. Clark's gone now. And, we got to fight this guy and keep him from this damn cube. So some time goes by. I don't remember why. And the dude, comes back for the cube. I think he gets it. And he's going to use all three to open up something. I don't know. It all reminded me of the Avengers with the Chitauri and him opening up the thing with the Tesseract and all the aliens coming through. I mean, these like bug people things that the Steppenwolf guy had were just like the Chitauri soldiers, in my opinion. I mean, they were just as forgettable. And the thing that was weird about this is, so they go and they start this fight, and then either Superman, the next time you cut to him, he has his full memory back, and they don't really explain how or why he got it back so fast. I mean, I guess you just let it go, but I let too many things go while watching this. This is a big bitch, isn't it? I mean, I'm sorry, but it was just, I knew I was going to rant on this, but the next time they show up with him, he's with Lois Lane. They're in like a cornfield, and they're talking, and he has his memory back. And so she knows he's going to have to go help them fight Steppenwolf, Born to be Wild, and Wild Stallions. And anyway, they show up, they're kind of getting their ass handed to them by Steppenwolf. He's actually a little bit more than these other people can handle, which I really don't understand, because really fucking Wonder Woman should have been able to kick his ass. But anyway, they're basically outmatched by him, and basically they're also, I think, fighting him one at a time or some bullshit. It seems like they never get their shit together to hit him all at once. And then Superman shows up to save the day, and then I think he starts to fight with the guy. He kind of throws him off or off of somebody or something, and then something happens, and he's got to go save some people. So he leaves to go. Superman leaves again to go save some civilian people, and they're left to fight him again without Superman. So they start getting their ass handed to him again, and then after Superman saves, I don't remember who it was. The movie is so forgettable. That's what I'm saying. After he saved the civilians, whoever they were, he comes back, starts fighting with Steppenwolf. Basically, Superman just tosses him around like a fucking rag doll. I mean, the guy against Superman is about like Batman is against fighting Steppenwolf. I mean, really, it's just like, and which is funny because Batman held his own against Superman, So it's just, it's kind of ridiculous, but Superman basically comes back, hands this guy his ass, and then him and Cyborg pull these, the three cubes have bonded back together into one. Superman and Cyborg pull them apart with brute strength and technology, and then I don't know. I mean, I finished watching it, but I really don't remember how it really wrapped up. I mean, it was just like, it was kind of a shot of all six of them. I do remember a shot of them all kind of standing there because it looked really fucking phony. I mean, it looked like they were against a green screen, and Superman's suit was so damn shiny and plastic looking, and it was just like, I was so underwhelmed by the whole thing. And it was really disappointing. I liked Suicide Squad. I don't, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of people are like, yeah. I really liked Suicide Squad. I bought the Blu-ray. So anyway, I was just really underwhelmed by the whole movie, and it just really, I think I bitched about it enough. I don't know. I've just been in a bitch mood for a while. I just with working, and I still haven't been able to utilize any of my vacation or take time off, and I'm just starting to get like burned out, and I'm eating like shit, and I put on like fucking 10 pounds, and I can see it, and I just ain't happy about it, folks. So anyway, just because I wanted to kind of show some love anyway, I do really like Superman, and it's one of those things that I've always really liked, and I have a few things Superman related, just to show you. This is just what I could think of off the top of my head. I'm not going to dig the other thing out, but I'll explain what it is when I start showing this stuff. But basically, I mean, I have all 4 movies on DVD. Superman the movie, the original, Superman 2, Superman 3 even, and 4. I also have Superman Returns, Man of Steel. I like Man of Steel. I even liked Batman versus Superman. I mean, there were parts of it that drew me back in. I just didn't feel like there was anything left in Justice League that would draw me back to want to watch it again. Let's see. Movies on Laserdisc. I have Superman the movie on Laserdisc. I don't know. It is a fold out. Look at that. Awesome. You know? Can't tell me that ain't cool. This is why I like shit like laser discs. You don't get stuff like this. I mean, not anymore. Superman, the movie. Superman 2. I think this one folds out. Let's look. We've got Zod and the chick and the other guy, Superman. This one does not look like it folds out, but there's 2 discs. So it's 4 sides. I don't know if there's anything special on it. I don't know. There might be some special stuff on there. I don't know for sure. But that's laser discs. I mean, I have freaking baseball caps. You know. I mean, here's 2 of them. I know I've got at least 2 or 3 other ones. This was like some stupid. Well, it's not stupid, but it was like a. I don't even remember where this came from for sure. It's almost like a stencil or something. I bought this just for the hell of it. I mean, I bought this stupid tin because it had a bunch of suckers in it that I won't eat because I like the tin, but I'm not eating sugar anymore. So that kind of shit. My sister, when I think for my it was one of my birthdays, but it was like probably before I was 20. I think I was 18 or 19, bought me this watch, Superman watch, and has Superman band on it. It's pretty cool. It needs a new battery. I can't read the year. It's hell getting old. I think it says 94. So, yeah, I would have been 94. Yeah, I would have been 20 or 19. 94, 95, I would have been 20. So, yeah, I would have been 19. So, yeah, that makes sense. So, this watch, I have t-shirts. I can't wear this because I'm too fucking fat, but, I mean, I've got Superman t-shirt, I mean, I've got this clock, this wall clock, Superman wall clock. And the other thing I had was from when I was a kid. It's a light switch cover with Superman, like a comic book Superman. When I was a kid, when I was from, I think, 4th grade, well, my room was this way. I eventually covered it over with other shit, but I had Superman wallpaper in my bedroom as a kid. At least from when we moved into the city. So I was probably 8 or 10. And from 10 to like 13 or so, before I started covering it up with like, rock band posters and Nintendo shit and swimsuit pictures, Yeah, I had Superman wallpaper. I painted. I can't find the video. I wish I could. I lived with my aunt and uncle for a couple of years when I was going to community college, and when I lived there was during this 18, 19 years old kind of time frame. My uncle, the walls in this room were completely white, and he told me, he goes, you can paint on the walls if you want. And I go, what do you mean? And he goes, if you want to, get artistic, man. He's like, draw, stencil something out and paint it. He's like, mural, do whatever the hell you want. He's like, if, we ever want to paint it, we'll just paint over it, I mean, and I was like, cool. And so I did this room as good as an 18-year-old could do. But one of the things that I did in there was a fucking 6 foot wide by like 4 foot tall on one wall Superman logo. I mean, I have so much love for Superman, and it's just seeing that shiny ass suit and how cheesy their interactions were in the movie, and it just, I don't know, it all just. I was just like, why can't you pull it together? Why can't you figure out what's missing? I don't know what's missing, so maybe they can't figure it out either. I don't know. The battery was running low on the camera, so I'm gonna probably sign off. My fat ass needs to eat anyway. No, I'm kidding, but yeah, I'm not happy. I feel it. I can see it in my cheeks and shit, and I'm not happy. And that makes me not want to get in front of the camera either. I have filmed like fucking, sorry for the language, three or four car videos that I never roughed into vids for y'all because I either got interrupted in the middle with road rage and got off track and decided it wasn't worth it, or it just was shaky, or I forgot to press the button and it didn't record, or what have you. So, it's not that I forgot about doing videos, it's just I haven't gotten a good content to put up that I felt like putting up. And I don't know if me bitching about Justice League for 15 minutes is any better, but well, I hope it was only 15 minutes, sorry. But yeah, those pickups, that was awesome, that Evil Dead thing. It just so happens I have some comic books out here on this thing because I was going through my comic books, and I have some things like, I have first issue of Spawn. I think I have the first like 4 or 5 issues of Spawn. Issue 2, Spawn. I don't know if these are worth anything. I don't really give a shit. I love Jim Lee's artwork. Wildcats 1 and 2. Wildcats never really took off. I really liked Jim Lee, his style. Gen 13, this number 1. This is another one I really like. J. Scott Campbell's style as well. A few different books. Gen 13, 3, 4. I thought I had a 2, but I couldn't find it around here. Pitt. I was really into Image Comics for a minute too. Of course, wasn't everybody. Pitt number 2, 3, Then for some reason I have a bunch of half issues because I was subscribed to this comic book price guide thing. Here's a couple Spider-Man, Carnage, first appearance. I bought that at a 7-Eleven off the rack when I was 17, I think. Just some random shit. But that's why I say I have these half issues that are Wizard comic stuff, like these Lady Death half issues. For some reason I have 2 of them. I don't know why I have 2 of them, but I do. Because I thought you had to mail order off a certificate out of the price guide in order to get it. Gen 13, 1/2. They all have certificates of authenticity in them. Rip Claw, Bone, Exo, Man of War. More Pit. More Spawn. Some Age of Apocalypse reboot stuff. And last but not least, my issue 75 of Wolverine, where he gets the adamantium pulled out of his body by Magneto. This is signed by the writer, Larry Hama, limit 5,000, and it's got a certificate of authenticity. I don't really know if that adds a lot to it, but at the time, I was really stoked to get that. I think I got it from it might have been from a home shopping network, like ordering it off the television type of thing. But anyway, I've taken this out of this sleeve twice. Once the very first time I got it to look at it and actually read the story, and then one other time I think I took it out just to kind of look at it, but not really read it. And I put it back in shortly after. So it's in really good shape for the most part. So I didn't mean to show comics. I'll let this go. Sorry, folks. I'll sign off and I'll talk to you later. Bye.